So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to IBC at Crossroads, Decade of Evolution, Road Ahead, under the series Gyan Ganga. So this session is being organized by IPCMI along with the Views Exchange and supported full-heartedly by IBBI, our regulator. I would also like to place on record my special appreciation for the leadership of CMA Chitranjan Chattopadhyay, President ICMI, and CMA Manoj Kumar Anand, Vice President ICMI, and Mr. Vinay Singhania ji, President Views Exchange, for their encouragement and support to initiatives which strengthen the insolvency professional. And of course, our heartful gratitude to Shri Ravi Mittal ji, Chairperson IBBI, and the entire team of senior officials from IBBI who have traveled from Delhi to be with us today and enlighten us on the various regulatory developments and initiatives being undertaken by the board. We are approaching a decade of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. In these years, the code have evolved continuously, not merely through amendments to the law and regulations, but through judicial interpretation, regulatory experience, and most importantly, the practical experiences of all the stakeholders involved in the insolvency ecosystem. So the first half is substantially dedicated to hearing directly from our regulator, IBBI. And post-lunch, we will hear insights from the judiciary, learn about recent amendments, the intricacies of resolution plan, their tax implications, use of AI, artificial intelligence, in insolvency, discuss the current liquidation landscape and recent judgments, and finally bring different perspectives together in a stakeholders panel discussion. So I believe we have a wonderful day of learning ahead with us. And with that note, let us begin. May I respectfully request CAIP Binay Kumar Singhania, President Views Exchange, CAIP Nitin Daga, Chairperson IBC Committee Views Exchange, and CAIP Kamal Nayan Jain, Director IPA ICMI, to kindly accompany our Chief Guest, Shri Ravi Mittal ji, Chairperson IBBI, and our guest of honor, Shri Neeraj Kumar Panda ji, Deputy Managing Director, Stressed Assets Resolution Group, SBI, to the dais. Ladies and gentlemen, may we welcome our distinguished dignitaries with a warm round of applause, please.
Here, it is very seldom to be seen Ravi sir coming to a function. His commitment to the profession is well seen and well displayed by the kind of changes that we are seeing in the IBBI regulations. I think we are all with this. We resonate with what he does, his team does, because when the engine is sound, the entire train runs very well. I think we all know this extremely well, that IBBI has its ears, hands, and legs all over the place. It doesn't mean that we are by any chance saying that IBBI acts as a spy. Absolutely not. When we say hands, legs, and eyes everywhere, we are saying that dharti pe inka pair hai, and they are able to hear and महसूस कर पाते हैं as to what the profession and the law is going through. Have you ever seen any law going through humongous number of changes? And it is so difficult to do it, but yes, IBBI does it. And now when we are sitting at the edge of Independence Day, sir ke permission se, let us just ask a few fun facts to all of you. Are you all with us? Okay, a big clap for Views Exchange for doing this wonderful event. And of course, Rashmi will take us through. I am just acting as a stepney for a while. And thank you for the opportunity. Okay, आपसे पूछते हैं, आपको अपने भारतवर्ष के बारे में कितना पता है? आपको पता है कि नहीं? Lot many countries have a citizenship test. I don't know whether you're aware or not. If you want to become a citizen of a country, you have to sometimes pass the citizenship exam. जैसे आप IBBI का exam आपको pass करना पड़ता है to become an insolvency professional, let's see how much we know about our country. Okay, one question, fun fact again. Do you know which is the national language of our country? इंडिपेंडेंस डे आ रहा है भाई, कुछ एक ओके संस्कृत चॉइस नंबर 1, हिंदी ओके हिंदी एंड नितेश भैया आप सुन लीजिए, आप फिर स्प्रेड भी करेंगे. आवर कंट्री डू नॉट हैव अ नेशनल लैंग्वेज. Hindi is one of the language in the 22 scheduled languages that our country has. So we are sometimes just mistaken that Hindi is our national language, though yes, it is being used wide and large in the government also, but Hindi is not yet declared as a national language. Okay. Does our country have a national bird? रॉन्ग आंसर. आप IBBI के एग्जाम में अगर रॉन्ग आंसर देंगे तो रवि सर बोल देंगे अब हो गया, चलिए इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोफेशनल. यस एब्सोल्युटली सर, एब्सोल्युटली, एंड थैंक्स टू हर दैट शी ब्रॉट दिस टू अस. वी डू नॉट हैव अ नेशनल बर्ड एज येट. वी हैव अ नेशनल एनिमल दो. चलिए बताइए हमारा नेशनल एनिमल कौन सा है? लायन पहले था, फिर कहा गया कि लायन को चेंज कर देना चाहिए. इन द 1970s इट गॉट चेंज्ड बिकॉज इट वॉज सेड एंड सीन दैट लायंस आर ओनली फाउंड नॉर्मली इन द गिर फॉरेस्ट इन गुजरात. बट अगर कोई नेशनल एनिमल होता है तो इट शुड बी अवेलेबल इन द एंटायर कंट्री. सो देन टाइगर बिकेम द नेशनल एनिमल ऑफ आवर कंट्री. सो पहले लायन था. हु सेड लायन? रवि सर. एकदम आप IBBI के लायक एकदम, देख लीजिए. IBC एकदम अच्छा पढ़ाई भी करते हैं, आई एम श्योर, जब उनको ये भी पता है. दैट्स नाइस. ओके रवि सर, आपने वो वीडियो देखा था. एनी क्वेश्चंस दैट यू वुड लाइक टू आस्क? ओके थैंक यू. मे आई रिक्वेस्ट रश्मि टू प्लीज कम एंड हैंडल द मैंटल. थैंक यू एवरीवन.
Thank you, Dee. A very big round of applause for Mamta Binani ji, to just fill the gap. And I request everyone standing outside to come once again, to the hall and kindly be seated in the front. There are a lot of seats empty in the front, so kindly come in the front. Vipul ji, please come. So, moving forward, knowledge is a foundation of every profession. And there could be no better way to commence Gyan Ganga than by invoking the blessings of Ma Saraswati. May I request everyone to kindly rise for the Saraswati Vandana, followed by our national song, Vande Mataram.
राजश्री सोल से सारे अपडेट्स पाने के लिए बेल आइकन दबाइए.
या कुंदेन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा. शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमाम् आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीं वीणापुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदाम् जाड्यान्धकारापहाम्. हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीं पद्मासने संस्थितां वन्दे तां परमेष्ठिं परमेश्वरीं भगवतीं बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Thank you. Please be seated, everyone. The lighting of the ceremonial lamp symbolizes the journey from darkness to knowledge, from uncertainty to certain clarity. And perhaps that symbolism is particularly meaningful today as we look back at a decade of IBC and deliberate upon the road ahead. May I request our chief guest, Sri Ravi Mittal ji, and our guest of honor, Sri Neeraj Kumar Panda ji, along with the dignitaries on the dais, to kindly inaugurate the conclave by lighting the ceremonial lamp. I also request all our distinguished speakers, past President of Views Exchange, past EIRC chairpersons, EIRC, to kindly join the ceremony. It is now privilege to introduce our chief guest, Sri Ravi Mittal ji, chairperson in IBBI. Sri Ravi Mittal ji is a 1986 batch IS officer of the Bihar cadre. He holds degree in mechanical engineering and environmental science. Before joining IBBI as chairperson, he served as a secretary, Department of Sports, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. During his distinguished career in government, he has also served as secretary, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Special Secretary, Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance, and on the boards of several important institutions, including State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, and GICRE. It is indeed an honor to have you amongst us. And this is the first time where we have the privilege where Sir has, come to Calcutta and, addressing such a gathering. May I request now Sri R.C. Surana ji, founder, member and past President Views Exchange, to honor Sri Ravi Mittal ji with the Uttariyo. And also I request CIP Kamal Nayan Jain, Director IP ICMI, to present the memento. Thank you, sir. It's now my pleasure to introduce our guest of honor, Shri Neeraj Kumar Pandaji, Deputy Managing Director, Stress Assets Resolution Group from State Bank of India. Shri Pandaji joined SBI as a probationary officer in 1995 batch and assumed his present position as Deputy Managing Director, Stressed Assets Resolution Group in June 2026. Across his nearly 3-decade career, he has gained extensive experience in corporate credit, retail banking, international banking, and private equity, including important international assignments with SBI's US operations. Given the central role of financial creditors in the insolvency ecosystem, sir, your presence today brings an extremely important stakeholder perspectives to our deliberations. May I request past President C.A.K.K. Chaparia ji to honor Shri Pandaji with the Uttariyo. And I also request past President Shri R.C. Jhawarji to present the memento. Okay. Since I'll request Mamta Binani ji to present the memento to sir. Chaparia ji. Okay, I'll request Nitesh Morji to kindly honor Shri Pandaji with the Uttariyo and Mamta Binani ji to present the memento. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Every successful initiative begins with a vision and with people committed to translating that vision into action. May I now invite CAIP Binay Kumar Singhania, President Views Exchange, to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Rashmi. Good morning. Chief guest of the evening, Sri Ravi Mittal ji, Honorable Chairperson, IBBI. Our guest of honor, Sri Neeraj Kumar Pandaji, DMD, State Bank of India, Executive Director and AGM of IBBI, IPA of ICMAI, Compliance Officer, Ms. Karishma Rastogi Varsane ji, Mr. Ayush Goyal, the GM, DGM, and other officers of the bank and our partner banks, the officials of the ESIC and the Department of the State Government, council members, regional council member of the institute, past president of the institute, and the past president of Views Exchange, learned members of the bar, insolvency professional, valuers, distinguished invitees, friends. A very warm good morning to each of you. It is my privilege on behalf of Views Exchange and our esteemed partner, the IPA of ICMAI, and with the values support of the IBBI, to welcome you to this conclave on the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. When I look across this hall in the morning, I do not merely see an audience, I see gathered under one roof the entire ecosystem that gives the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code its life. The regulator that shapes it, the bankers who invoke it, the professionals who conduct it, the lawyers who argue it, prospective resolution applicants who propose to revive the city, and the government departments whose due it protects. It is rare that all the guardians of a single law sit together in one room. That is what makes this gathering special. This year, we gather under a theme very close to the heart of Views Exchange, that is Gyan Ganga, the Ganga of knowledge. Consider the Ganga. She never asked who stands upon her banks before she gives her water. She flows to all alike, to the rich and the poor, the scholar and the seeker, without discrimination. That is precisely what we believe about knowledge. It must flow freely to everyone, held back by no barrier of position or privilege. The conclave is our humble attempt to let the river flow, to let the knowledge flow, to carry the wisdom of the regulator, the banker, the professionals, the scholar to every person of this hall and beyond it. And how highly our tradition esteem knowledge, an old and beloved saying captures its worth in just 3 words: Vidya Paramam Balmam. Knowledge, in other words, is the true measure of a person And in our profession, knowledge is not a luxury, it is the very instrument of the resolution, it is everything. Friends, let us pause for a moment on how far we have traveled. Before 2016, a defaulting borrower held the advantage and the lender could wait a decade to recover a fraction of his dues. The insolvency bankruptcy code changed it forever. It shifted the balance from the defaulter to the creditor, from delay to discipline, from recovery to resolution. In less than a decade, close to 1,300 stressed companies have been rescued through approved resolution plan, and creditors have realized nearly 4 lakh crore rupees that might otherwise have been lost. But the true achievement of the code is not measured in numbers alone, it is measured in the change of behavior. In the promoters who now repays before default because he knows he may lose his company if he does not. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the quiet revolution of the IBC. And yet, the code today stands at a crossroad. It is very success has brought and many new challenges, mounting cash loads, stressed timelines, and the erosion of value then when the resolution is delayed. The reform now on the horizon, creditor-led resolution, that is CIRP, a framework for cross-border and group insolvency, and a dedicated path for real estate and personal guarantors, will define the next decade of this law, a living law. Like a living being must renew itself to endure, it is precisely to debate, to question, and to help shape the reforms that we have assembled today. And each of you in this hall carries a part of that responsibility. To our bankers, you are the custodian of the public money. Every resolution you support returns capital to the economy. To our insolvency professional, you hold in trust the faith of an enterprise, its workers, and its creditors. To our learned lawyers, you keep the code honest, testing your every principle in the fire of the argument. And to our friends from the ESIC and the state government, you remind us that behind every operational dues stands a worker, a family, a livelihood. When the IBC works, it works for all of them. For the insolvency professional, above all, one trust must never be forgotten. Integrity and ethics are not separate from our work. They must walk beside it. At every single step, the Ramayana gives us the highest ideal of this union. Sri Rama himself has mentioned Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmam. That is the standard for every one of us, to be professionals to whom competence and conduct, skill and integrity are one and the same, to work with knowledge in the mind and dharma in the heart, without fear and without favor, so that our integrity is not something we merely claim, but something we are. We are deeply honored, sir, by your presence as our chief guest. Under your stewardship, the IBBA has been not merely a regulator, but an architect of trust. And your words today will guide us the deliberation that follow. To our guest of honor from State Bank of India, DMD, and to every dignitary who has been taken time from demanding schedule to be with us, we are truly grateful. Your presence is our encouragement. Let me close with a word of thanks to our partners, the IPA of ICMI, to the IBBI, to our distinguished speakers and contributors, to our sponsors, and to the tireless team of Youth Exchange whose months of work have made this evening possible. May this conclave be a true Gyan Ganga, a river of knowledge that flows to every one of us without exception, and from which each leaves a little wiser, a little more committed to the cause or how to be served. To the entire team of IBC Committee of Youth Exchange, which worked hard for last so many days to make things happen and close to perfection, led by Nitin Daga. All the positivity of this program goes to our team. I wish you all a most enriching and memorable conclave. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Binay ji, for your warm words of welcome and setting the tone for today's deliberations. May I now request CA IP Kamal Nayan Jain ji, Director IPA ICMI, to address the gathering and share his thoughts on the conclave.
Thank you, Rashmi. Our chief guest, Sri Mittalji, our guest of honor, Pandaji, our president, Vinayji, Nitinji, dignitaries of the dais, a very good morning to you all. आज सुबह जब सरस्वती वंदना से हम स्टार्ट कर रहे थे तो आई वाज जस्ट रिकॉलिंग टू लाइन्स ऑफ जय शंकर प्रसाद ऑन सरस्वती कि वरदे वीणा वादिनी वरदे नव नव के नव विहग को नव से नव स्वर दे। बहुत सुंदर कल्पना है कि नव के नव विहग को नव से नव स्वर दे, नया आकाश, नए पंछी और नए से नए स्वर। तो इंसॉल्वेंसी फ्रेमवर्क फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस प्रोफेशनल्स, इट्स अ न्यू horizon, new sky, and we all are new birds who are trying to fly in this sky, and we keep on trying to have now se now swar, and IBBI is playing still a role in evolving this profession like anything, and just right now, as our president mentioned, that after this promulgation of this law, 4 lakh crore plus assets have been realized. And I think after this, NPA management of banks have improved like anything. Because when we started this profession in the very early stage, Sumit is here, Mamta is here, we started in the very beginning. And when we used to go to, it was first to second to even SBI, तो उस वक्त और जो पहला ऑर्डर भी यहाँ पे आया था तो कैसे ऑर्डर ड्राफ्ट होगा, कैसे क्या होगा, इवन बेंच मेंबर्स, इवन फॉर अदर स्टेक होल्डर्स वाज चैलेंज. बट ग्रेजुअली टुडे विद इन 10 years दिस फ्रेमवर्क हैज टेकन अ वेल प्लेस्ड, you can say, framework in overall gamut. And with our dynamic chairman of IBI, I hope that we will keep on evolving from time to time. And with this word, I wish all the success to this conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So, we have all spoken about where the code has traveled over the last decade. But the real question before us today is, where do we go from here? To introduce the theme of today's conclave, may I now invite CA IP Nitin Daga, Chairman, IBC Committee Views Exchange.
Wish you all a very good morning. Can we hear it a bit louder? This is required because we have two of the chiefs from our the organizations which dominates this ecosystem. So thank you everyone for being here. At the onset, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to our chief guest, Shri Ravi Mittalji, Chairperson, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. Our guest of honor, Mr. Neeraj Kumar Pandaji, Deputy Managing Director, Stressed Asset Resolution Group, State Bank of India. Mr. Vinay Sanduja ji, Managing Director, Insolvency Professional Agency of Institute of Cost Accountants of India, who presently is not there with us on dais, but he shall be joining us soon. Mr. Kamal Nayan Jain ji, Director, ICMI IPA, and Mr. Binay Kumar Singhania ji, President, Views Exchange. It is my privilege to welcome you all to this significant conclave on IBC at Crossroads, Decade of Evolution and the Road Ahead. On behalf of IBC Committee of Views Exchange, I extend my sincere gratitude to the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India for its valuable support, and to IPICMI for joining jointly organizing this event with us. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to all the eminent dignitaries, speakers, panelists, moderators, delegates, and organizing team, and our sponsors, without whose support this event would not have been possible. Friends, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016 has been one of India's most transformative economic reforms. As we approach a decade of its implementation, this is an opportune moment to reflect on its remarkable journey and deliberate on the future directions of India's insolvency framework. Today, friends, well over 150 countries have established corporate insolvency or bankruptcy legislation and regime, while many have modernized their framework in line with the international best practices advocated by the organizations such as UNICITRAL, the World Bank, and International Monetary Funds. In this global landscape, the Indian Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code is increasingly recognized as one of the most comprehensive and progressive insolvency frameworks among emerging economies. Despite being relatively young, the code has attracted worldwide attention for introducing a unified insolvency regime, strengthening creditors' confidence, improving the ease of doing business, and continuously evolving through the judicial interpretations and legislative reforms. International institutions frequently cites India's insolvency reform as an important step towards strengthening the country's credit ecosystem and investment climate. An equally significant contributor to the success of IBC has been the banking and financial sector. By proactively identifying stressed assets and actively participating in the resolution process through the Committee of Creditors, banks and financial institutions have played a crucial role in reinforcing the credit discipline, improving recovery mechanisms, and enhancing confidence in India's financial system. Friends, their continued collaboration remains indispensable to the effectiveness of the insolvency framework. As the insolvency ecosystem continues to evolve, discussions on timely resolution, value maximization, cross-border insolvency, group insolvency, and institutionalization of strengthening have assumed greater significance. Today's conclave provides an excellent platform for policymakers, regulators, insolvency professionals, bankers, and industry leaders to exchange ideas, share experience, and collectively shape the next phase of insolvency reforms in India. I am confident that today's deliberations will provide valuable insights and meaningful recommendations for strengthening and our insolvency ecosystem. With these words, I warmly welcome all of you and our distinguished speakers and participants and wish the conference a very success. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Nitin. Indeed, decade of evolution, road ahead, gives us much to reflect upon and much more to look forward to. Ladies and gentlemen, we can now come to one of the most awaited moments of this morning. As practitioners, we work with the code and regulations every day. But as an opportunity to hear directly from the chairperson of our regulator gives us something more, the opportunity to understand the direction, thinking, and vision behind the evolving insolvency framework. It is therefore my privilege to invite our chief guest, Shri Ravi Mittalji, chairperson IBBI, to deliver the keynote address.
Good morning, everyone. Dignitaries on the dais and in the auditorium here. As you all know, IBC has completed 10 years in May, and we are now in our 11th year. IBBI had prepared a small 4-minute film on the performance of IBC in the last 10 years. So I would like to show you this film first. Do we have?
Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code has completed 10 years. A decade of decisive reform, discipline, and transformation. The results are visible across the system. Over 1400 successful resolutions, more than 4 lakh crore rupees realized, 167% of liquidation value and 95% of fair value. Even before admission, over 30,000 cases settled with underlying debt of 13.94 lakh crore. IBC didn't just resolve insolvency, it prevented it.
इंसॉल्वेंसी एंड बैंक्रप्सी कोड यानी आईबीसी ने रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, रिकवरी और रिजोल्यूशन का नया क्रेडिट कल्चर डेवलप किया.
Research from India's leading institution tells a powerful story of transformation. IIM Ahmedabad research revealed the story of companies post-resolution under IBC. Over a period of 5 years, strong revival in operations. Sales increased by 89%. Asset turnover up by 131%. Capex up by 106%. Higher employment intensity. Employee expenses up by 72%. Workforce expansion. Employee to asset ratio up by 200%. Strong market recovery. Market cap rose from 2.8 lakh crore to 9 lakh crore rupees. IIM Bangalore research revealed improved borrower discipline, higher adherence to repayment schedules, faster resolution of stress, overdue period reduced from 248 to 334 days to 30 to 87 days. Increased transition of accounts from overdue to normal category. 3% reduction in cost of debt for distressed firms. Improved corporate governance. Rise in independent directors 2.84%. India's progress has gained global recognition. S&P Global Ratings has upgraded India's insolvency regime, ranking to Group B. NPAs of banks have declined sharply from 11.8% in 2018 to nearly 2.2% in 2025.
The code actually has contributed to improving the health of our banking sector. So recoveries through the IBC stood at 54,528 crores. 1.04 lakh crores was recovered in total. Through the IBC process, 52.3% was recovered.
IBC protect the workforce at every stage. Payment to financial creditors, workers, home buyers and MSMEs are ensured from time to time. By enabling resolution, IBC ensure businesses continue and jobs are preserved. The IBC provides targeted support for MSMEs to ensure business continuity and faster resolution. IBC also enables handling over possession of properties to home buyers during the process. Interest of more than 1.4 lakh home buyers have been restored through either project completion, asset recovery, or alternative relief mechanisms. IBC has enabled revival across sectors, from steel and infrastructure to manufacturing, real estate, services, MSMEs, healthcare, and news agencies. In just 10 years, IBC has transformed stress into strength and failure into opportunity. It is not just a reform, it is a reset. IBC, powering India's journey towards a resilient, confident, and Viksit Bharat.
So, what we saw were the achievements of IBC. But not everything is good or not everything is rosy. What has happened is that, although IBC has achieved quite a bit, we have been criticized for delays. Creditors criticize us for large haircuts. And in fact, I still remember when I had joined, an MD of a bank told me, sir, haircut to theek hai, but sir nahi kaat dijiye. You know, so what is happening is, I mean, what I'm trying to say is, we have done well, but we have delayed, we have not achieved the targets that we should have achieved in terms of timelines, and we have also had large haircuts. So we need to do something about this. I mean, we have, otherwise what will happen is we'll also, like DRT has gone down the drain, we will also go down the drain. So we have to do something about delays, we have to do something about recoveries. And what we have found is that delays and recoveries are connected to each other. We had done a study of about 1,300 projects in our office. And what we found is that if you can resolve something in less than 300 days, you get about 50% recovery. If you can do it within 300, 350 to 500, 600 days, you get more than 30% recovery. And if you cannot do it in 600 days, the recovery comes down to less than 20%. So therefore, what I'm trying to say is that if we can just control delays, we can control recoveries, and we can improve the working of IBC. And this is the only point, perhaps, on which I will talk today for 5 minutes. We have a presentation by my officers after tea break, and they will say everything else, but I will just talk about delays. Now, how can we reduce delays? You know, when we talk to NCLT about delays, they show us that IPs or the process, instead of happening in 180 days, is happening in 400 days. So there is delay at every stage. There is delay in admission, there is delay in the process, and there is delay in approval. Since the majority of people here are RPs, IPs, valuers, I'll talk about delays at the process stage, and not at the admission stage, and not at the approval stage. Now, so what we did, we studied large number of projects. We wanted to see why is there a delay? Kyun delay hota hai? I mean, I say this openly everywhere that our RPs are perhaps the best in the world. And why am I saying our RPs are the best in the world? You know, the kind of resolutions that have been done in India, very few countries have done. We have done the largest real estate resolution perhaps in the world. China ke paas ek resolution tha Evergrande. It went into liquidation. They couldn't do it. We have been able to do it. Our system has been able to do it. So it's not that we don't know how to do work. I mean, that's what I want to say. So we need to find ways. We need to find ways to reduce delays. Now, how can we reduce delays? Supposing a case is admitted, a person becomes an RP. Now, what he does is he issues a notice in the newspaper asking for claims. Naturally, he gets claims in 15 days, 20 days, 1 month, 2 months, and then he forms a COC. So what we have written in a regulation or a circular is, the day you become an RP, please talk to NESL or IU. They have a record of all debts. So they will be able to tell you, I mean, they will be able to give you a fair idea of who are the creditors, and then take claim from them. You can reduce time by 15-20 days just by approaching NESL on the first day. Another thing, supposing Bank of India has filed this application. Now, you know, there is a system called CRILIC, which is run by RBI. Now, CRILIC, you have information about every debt. So if Bank of India has filed an application, you talk to Bank of India, they will be able to tell you who all are the creditors. Now, what is the advantage of this? The advantage is that if you just put an ad in the newspaper, ask people for claims, it takes time. But you can form an initial COC immediately within 7-8 days just by taking information from the concerned bank or concerned creditor and NESL. And then, as you all know, COC can be reformed or COC can be changed as you get more and more claims. But your work starts immediately as soon as you can form a COC. You can save time. Then what you do is, you write a letter to the promoter and ask for documents. You want the balance sheet, you want other documents. Now we have a regulation where we say, please take these documents from the creditors. Now every bank which gives loan, every bank has got every information about that loanee. You know, you go to a bank board, and I have sat on a bank board for about 4 years. You go to a bank board, side में एक इतना गड्डी information रहता है if someone wants. You know, they have got balance sheets, they have got valuation reports, they have got all kinds of things. But we don't take it from them, and they don't give it to us. What we do is, we first write to the promoter, wait for 2-3 months, try it here, try there, and then file a 19-2 application. Nothing happens for 3-4 months in that 19-2 application. Then there is a 19-2 order, please inko de dijiye document. Even then, it is not in the interest of the promoter to expedite things. So what happens? Something that again can be done in a month or so, if we take these documents from the bank or from other creditors, takes its own time. You know, I am just trying to give you examples. I am not trying to, say what all things can be done. But I am sure a lot of things can be done to expedite the CIRP process. And time is most important. Because if we are able to do it in less time, then our recoveries will improve. Same, valuation. You know, valuation reports are often incomplete. When we ask the valuers, they tell us, हमको information ही नहीं थी, हम कहाँ से valuation करते? Naturally, I mean, they don't know where things are. How will they do valuation? But the bank has valuation report. You know, if not every year, they get a valuation report done every 2-3 years. They have large number of valuation reports. उठाइए उसको, लीजिए उनसे. And if I know that valuation report will be valuing things very highly, because those valuation reports the promoter has given, or the promoter has helped to get more loan. But it will give you the item list. It will give you the list of items which our valuer can use to do valuation, at least. And when you review, you will know that the price or the cost or the value of this asset has come down from 100 rupees to 10 rupees. Then you can ask the valuer, bhai, ye kya cheez hai? You know, there are cases where the value of land has come down from 100 crores to 2 crores. How can that be possible? I mean, land ka value to increases by every year. And everyone has accepted it. The RP has accepted it, the COC has accepted this, and bid bhi वैसा ही आ गया. Whatever, sir. So, you know, what I am only trying to say is that if we want, I mean, you are the smartest people. You know how to do work. And if you want to do work in a better manner, in a timely manner, you can. And I personally feel that, you know, doing CIRP in a timely manner is more important than doing it perfectly. Even if you do it imperfectly, even if you do not have some information, even if your IM is not ideal, it is better to do it in time. And if you do it in time, our experience says you get a better value. And most of the problems complaints to our office, complaints to NCLT, or all kinds of things start only when things are delayed. If we do everything very fast, if we do everything in time, nothing happens. So my request to all of you, my advice to all of you is, काम को टाइम पे कीजिए, फास्ट कीजिए. And you know, please do not get very legal. And I'll give you an example. Supposing, you know, some people have filed claims, delay हो गया थोड़ा सा. Find ways of accepting that claim. Don't find ways of rejecting that claim. You know, we have increase the time limit till which you can take claims. If you know, we have increased the time limit. We have also said कि आपको claims late आती हैं, तो please file an application. You file an application before NCLT and say भाई हम इनको accept कर रहे हैं. उन claims को provisionally आप include कीजिए in the IM till you get approval from NCLT. But you know, if you reject it, it's very easy to reject it, but they'll go to NCLT. They'll go to NCLT and then the entire process will get delayed. That's all. Accept तो वो होगा ही. So if we are proactively trying, to resolve something within time, I think we can. I mean, that is what we have seen. And you know, there are CIRPs which have been done in 80 days, 90 days. ऐसा नहीं है they have not been done. There are at least 100 CIRPs which you have done in 80 days, 90 days. You have done it. So if some of you can do it fast, I'm sure others can also do it fast. There's another thing related to this. You know, the film showed that we have done more than 1,400 resolutions. About 500-600 of them are resolutions which are very old, which are BIFR cases. And so what happens? You get a resolution value of 2%, 3%, 5%, I mean, very low value. Now you take 2-3 years to do this and the value is just 2-3-5-7%. In some cases, it does not even cover the CIRP cost. In some cases. Or it barely covers the CIRP cost. And after covering the CIRP cost, the creditors hardly get anything. And then we start getting complaints. Now what we have said in a regulation is that in the first meeting, please review as to whether it is worth doing the CRP or not. If you find, and we have given some parameters on which you can evaluate. So if you find that it is not worth doing the CRP, please take it up with the COC, please take it up with the creditor and go straight for liquidation. What is the point in doing a CRP for 2-3 years, then going for liquidation or getting 2-3-4-5% realization? I mean, it doesn't serve anyone's purpose, not your purpose, not the creditor's purpose. So in the first meeting, second meeting, please try to make an assessment. I mean, this is also one way of reducing delays. Because first you do a CRP for 2-3 years and then you do a liquidation for 2-3 years. So please try your best. Please try to do things in time. And if you find that there are problems in doing things in time, if you find that IBBI can do something to help you, if you find we can change some regulations, we can issue some circular which helps you do your work, please tell us. Please tell us because we are always there to help you. So if you find there are some ways, please tell us. The last point that I want to say is, in the last few months, we have seen some cases which have come into IBC for fraud is a very tough word, but for mischievous or fraudulent reasons. So what happens is, a private creditor means who is not a financial creditor, a private creditor applies. So he gets more than 65% in the COC because, and you know, the case has come primarily to write off some government dues or some other dues. You know, you are an officer of the court. It is not your duty alone to run the process. If you find something wrong is happening, you should tell the court. You should tell NCLT that this is happening, so that action can be taken. You should tell us that this is happening. You know, we should not permit these kind of things to happen because it ruins all our reputations. It ruins your reputation, it ruins my reputation. And in the longer run, what will happen is, लोगों का विश्वास उठ जाएगा IBC से. And there are very few such cases. ऐसा नहीं है, there must be 5, 10, 15 cases. 5 cases a year. But we need to be watchful. We cannot take the plea कि नहीं process wise तो सब ठीक हो रहा है, we are following the rules. Of course you are following the rules. But अगर rules follow करके, process follow करके, we find that something mischievous is happening, we need to bring it out. We should not let IBC become a process for wrong things. Recently, some amendments were done in IBC. About 60 amendments were done. More than 60 amendments were done. Now, all these amendments were done to simplify the process. So, my officers will do a presentation, and after that, we have an Q&A session. But I am here till 1. We are free to answer any question, any doubt that you have about IBC, be it about amendments, be it about anything else. So please, and please, you can ask tough questions, you can criticize us, absolutely no issue. We don't want you to be very good to us. If you feel that we are doing something wrong, please tell us, because that will help us in reforming ourselves. And if you feel we need to do something, you are the experts. So if you feel that we need to be doing something that we are not doing, please tell us. So after the presentation, I'll request my officers to do a fast presentation, to spend less time on the presentation, so that there is more time for you to talk to us. Whenever I go to programs, normally today I don't make a speech. Today I made a speech. I normally don't make a speech. I like to hear you, and then just reply to the questions that we get. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And it's such a great comfort that we can all ask questions that is deep there in our heart to sir today, and he is there till 1. So I'll request everyone, to take this full opportunity and ask questions. And your words give all of us not only an understanding of where the insolvency framework stands, but also valuable perspective on the direction in which the ecosystem is evolving. An insolvency process ultimately brings together several stakeholders, and amongst the most critical are our lenders and financial creditors. We can see here the presence of HDFC Bank, Punjab National Bank, SBI, and various other banks. We therefore look forward to hearing the perspective of one of India's largest lenders, and particularly someone who leads SBI's Stressed Assets Resolution Group. May I now invite our guest of honor, Shri Neeraj Kumar Panda ji, Deputy Managing Director, Stress Assets Resolution Group, State Bank of India, to address the gathering. A round of applause, please.
Good morning to all of you. Honorable Chairman IBBI Sri Ravi Mittal, representatives from the Views Exchange, also IPAs of ICMAI, other dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, my colleagues from State Bank of India who are present here. Delighted to part of this event. So I am Neeraj Panda, so I am DMD of Stressed Asset Resolution Group of State Bank of India. I work out of Mumbai office, that is the corporate office of State Bank of India. So like in the introduction, I have been told, like I was on the other side of the things. I was handling corporate loans, retail, vertical, international banking, and private equity. So now I am on the other side, that is the resolution part of it. And many of you would have noticed the name, that is Stressed Asset Resolution Group. It's not recovery group, it's a resolution group. So there is a significant difference between those two words if we see. To start in a very good note, like many of you will be following State Bank of India's results. So yesterday we came out with our Q1 FY27 results, and happy to share with you the State Bank of India has crossed 110 trillion rupees of business. That is 60 trillion of deposits and 50 trillion rupees of advances. And our net profit stands at 21,121 crore for the quarter. That is one of the highest quarterly profit. And I wanted to tell you to tell the other numbers because this is the most relevant forum. So the gross NPA is at 1.47%, which is maybe over a decade's low in the bank's history. And net NPA is at 0.38%. So that is the dream of many, bankers and the banks. So in the banking sector, it is 2.3% as of FY 2026. And, many things have gone into it, improving the underwriting quality, the kind of risk management standards, the setting the risk appetite properly, setting the risk management framework, and also the IBC 2016, what has come in and how it has helped the banks and the entire banking system in the country, and also that has contributed to the financial stability and effectively the economy by way of increasing the business and also employment. So this has been a very significant and structural economic reforms which has fundamentally changed the country's approach from a debtor in possession model to creditor in control. Many of you know that many countries we have still the debtor in possession framework, and here we have the creditor in control framework, and this is the prime objective was that is that the preserving of enterprise value through a time bound resolution, and it actually consolidated multiple recovery mechanism which were actually available to the lenders before this code came into play. So this has actually evolved into an important pillar of resolution and recovery architecture, and which has actually brought in credit discipline, financial stability, and ease of doing business for everyone. Ease of doing business is applicable to everyone, and you might have seen that India has gone up in the index of ease of doing business, and IBC has contributed towards it, to a very great extent. So now we, as all of you know, have a strong ecosystem. Like we have the lenders, we have the IBBI, NCLT, NCLAT, and insolvency professionals and agencies, and also the information utility. And Mr. Mittal was referring to the kind of standardization which can take place. I think information utility, mainly NESL now, they are going to play a very major role here and very significant role here, which is actually, I believe that is going to change the entire dynamics of the, this entire process. So the recent amendments which has come in, and Mr. Mittal referred to that, and there will be a greater presentation. But from the bankers, for the lenders' point of view, let me tell that these are based on our experiences. State Bank has been also a part of giving suggestions and inputs, and where there are gaps, shortcomings, how we can improve the process. So this has been a major change, and these are very forward looking, and I'm sure that the code will be more stronger and more effective going forward. So it has focused on speedy and timely resolutions and clarification some statutory dues, then stronger creditors oversight and creditor initiated insolvency, and enhancing the procedural efficiency. Those are the crux of these amendments which have come in, and some are in the process of getting into effect. like the cross country, bankruptcy and all those. So numbers were given to you, and as of June, I think we have the numbers 1,628 resolutions, which say 4.78 trillion rupees of has been realized for the creditors. Out of the 8987 cases admitted, 7,102 cases has reached closures. There is a very significant success rate, and about 58% actually, companies have revived, and remaining have gone into liquidation. But there are challenges. Still, we have challenges as we are discussing that the resolution, maybe we need it to be faster. Also, we have some capacity constraint, and we are also facing high litigations, which is actually kind of delaying the whole process. So, as the biggest commercial bank in the country, if you ask me, our approach has been as a lender, what we expect. We expect that our credit delivery mechanism should be strong, and as all of you know, we have a strong balance sheet, and we are supporting financing from agriculture, from the grassroots level to the large corporates. So the expectations of the lender is that if we have lent money on some certain terms and conditions, and mostly these money are going into creation of assets, maybe fixed assets or working capital assets. So there is a proposition that the business will grow, business will be established or grow, and ultimately the bankers will get the return, and the business will prosper, it will create or contribute to the economy, to the employment. So those things will happen, but unfortunately sometimes due to various factors, I would say, business come into stress. So that way the our intention always has been, as I was referring at the beginning, that our intention is for a proper resolution. We know that if the business has gone into stress, maybe due to various reasons which is maybe beyond the control of the promoters, or the some natural calamities, or some kind of disturbances, or some geopolitical scenarios, so things can go wrong. So it's not that whatever finance we do, everything will go properly, or there may be some cases where it is entirely out of the control. So that is why but the expectation is that there should be some kind of restructuring, or some kind of intervention from both the sides, from the promoter side and lender side, and we should have a mechanism where we are ready to support the units or companies to turn around, to actually absorb that stress and turn around and run their business. So but unfortunately this doesn't happen many times, even though there is now a proper mechanism to address this kind of issues. We through the IBC process also, sometimes we come across cases where there are maybe some very rare, but some elements where the funds have been diverted or has not been used in the business. So those are the separate things altogether. But in the normal course of business, if the things have gone out of way because of industry related issues and other related issues, we are always ready to support. So the intention is that the turnaround should happen, or the intervention should happen as quickly as possible, because to preserve the whatever value is left in the business. If we know that there are some kind of unsustainable debt and that is going out of the books and the company can run, then lenders are always ready for that. It's not that we will not support that. So we will be ready for that, but to preserve the value, because ultimately we are having the public money and we have to return the money to the investors, depositors. So that way we have to also accountable to them. So this brings to the factor that we should have a also proper credit discipline instilled in the borrowers, the companies who are actually handling these the businesses. They should have a proper credit discipline, and IBC to some extent has brought in that discipline. And as we are referring, we are discussing, like many cases before coming into IBC, those have been settled, and those are very huge in number. Like 14 lakh crore. That's what we are discussing. 13.85 lakh crore. So this has actually helped the lenders. And if you ask me for the bank, this has been a game changer, and we have a separate vertical almost kind of assigned to it, and we are working on this front. We know that this is a very benign credit cycle which we are actually going through. We don't know till what time it will continue. It may continue for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, we don't know. But we should be future ready. That's why our SIRG vertical, it's actually, it's operating at its full capacity. And we have been, into this. We have been, working with all the stakeholders to maximize the value. So, if you ask me going forward how we look at it, then my first and foremost thing will be, we are looking forward for a faster resolution. It is in everyone's interest. It is in the interest of the bank. It is in the interest of the promoters. It's in the interest of the let's say new promoters who are coming in and investing money there. It's in the interest of business, economy, employment, everybody's interest. So how we can reach that faster resolution? What kind of transformative initiatives, other initiatives we can bring in? That actually is evolving, and as the recent amendments have come, that will also help in that direction. And going forward also, we are expecting many use cases will come for artificial intelligence and digitalization context. So it can actually come in the process stage itself at various stages, which will make the process smooth and stronger. And also it can help the information utilities, the artificial intelligence or digitalization, what we are talking about, in terms of claim verification, debt record. So those kind of things can be online, and it can be given to directly to the NCLT, to the resolution professionals. So that way we may not lose time on assessing these claims and verifying these claims and all. We are also expecting capacity additions at each and every level, so that we don't have pending cases due to capacity. So that is also we are expecting. And the other most important thing what we are looking at is a kind of developed market for distressed debt, or people coming in for this type of resolution. So in India, if we find this is not in a very developed stage now, like many investors will not have appetite for taking this kind of risk. So if this is not there, then the resolution becomes difficult. So we should have a developed distressed loan market. If we see various jurisdictions abroad, these are very, very prevalent, and there are investors who have this kind of risk appetite. So we are expecting that we should have also this kind of risk investors at our disposal, so that this market, this process, see, basically what happens is that, let's say the company went into trouble, maybe after a carve out of the debt, we need more funds to keep it working and also provide a proper resolution, so that it has a chance of turnaround if it has viability. So in that case, we need those kind of investors who have that kind of risk appetite to come in. So this is a thing which we expect that going forward it will develop. So that's it from my side. I congratulate IPA, ICMI, Views Exchange, and mainly the IBBI for being supporting and facilitating and being proactive. And actually, these kind of timely initiatives which have been taken by the policymakers, industry leaders, and professionals and experts for the meaningful deliberation on various issues and also bringing in various changes as required from time to time. So I am confident that this discussions for this conclave will generate valuable insights and practical recommendation which will contribute significantly to the continued evolution of India's insolvency regime. I extend my best wishes for the grand success of this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. By listening to sir, I was just having a cross that we need more such kind of discussions on expectations of the bankers from the resolution professionals. And also, that regulations are changing, acts are changing. But when it comes to the cases or appointment of RPs, banks also, every time ask for experience. And I think banks should also consider that experience will only come when the new and fresh RPs are given a chance. So with this, let's move forward. And we now move to another special moment of this morning, the release of the IBC Conclave Souvenir. May I now request our chief guest, Sri Ravi Mittal ji, our guest of honor, Sri Neeraj Kumar Panda ji, to kindly honor us by unveiling the souvenirs. May I also request the members of the IBC Conclave Souvenir Committee to kindly join us on the stage for the unveiling. Kindly bring the souvenirs to the dais. We also recognize the presence of EIRC ICI Chairperson, Mr. Mayur Agarwal, along with past Chairperson EIRC ICI, Mr. Sumit Binani, Vishnu Tulsianji, Nitesh Moore, and also past President CS Institute, Mamta Binani ji. A round of loud applause, please. Thank you, sir and ma'am. May this souvenir serve not merely as a record of today's conclave, but as a valuable repository of thoughts and knowledge on the evolving IBC landscape. As we come towards the conclusion of the inaugural session, may I invite CAIP Kamal Nayan Jain ji, Director IPA ICMI, to propose the vote of thanks.
On behalf of Views Actions, on behalf of this conference committee, I extend my hearty vote of thanks to Chairman IBI Ravi Mittal ji, who despite his busy schedule, he came all the way to Calcutta to grace this great occasion and given a very insight about this profession. We are really enlightened, sir, and we thank on behalf of everyone for gracing this occasion. I request all of the house to give thunderous applause. I also, on behalf of this conference committee and the Views Exchange, express my hearty vote of thanks to Sir Neeraj Panda, who really said that it's not recovery, but resolution. So they have renamed it, and on behalf of this house, I extend hearty vote of thanks to you for gracing this occasion. I request this house to give a thunderous applause for him. And I thank all the dignitaries who are of the dais who made their presence well felt, and even in the inaugural session, I am finding this house to be very full, because in the beginning it was not so well occupied, but lately it is totally full. I express my thanks to all of you. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, sir. May I now request the organizers, event committee, support committee, past president views exchange, past president EIRC chairpersons, Mr. Mayur Agarwal, and to kindly join us for the group photograph.